Ross with the Rock Never Stops. Yo, I'm sorry I didn't get on yesterday. I was traveling back in the Bay, spending some time with my daughter. I had a little time while she's getting out of school right now, so I figured I'd get on before the Raptors game because there's a whole lot to unpack. And I think probably most of the channels have already talked about more than enough of this. Jalen Duren gets suspended 2 games. Isaiah Stewart 7 games, and he made them count. I saw the highlights of the punches that he got in on Miles Bridges. I was like, "Yep, that's a solid 7 games worth. Respect, respect." But it's to say that we got to move on. And there's a lot more that I took away from this game outside of the fight. If I'm honest with you, the fight was like, all right, I've seen a fight in basketball before. All right, this was a bit of a brawl. Okay, cool. I'm still watching the basketball though, because that's what this is. It's basketball. So before I dive in to the last game against the Charlotte Hornets, and I told y'all it was going to be a showdown. Did I not? I said Charlotte is not the same Hornets team that's been here throughout the majority of the LaMelo Ball era. This is a different squad. All this to say is we pulled it out. But there were some things that I saw that I was just like, God, we got to clean this up. Way too much heliocentric basketball. I'm going to get into all of that. But before I do, as always, if you could do me the favor, smash the like button for me, right? It's a small thing for you, just a little tap the like button, right? But it's a big thing for the channel when you do. All right. So hit subscribe and the bell for notifications as well. And definitely consider becoming a member in 2026. We got a dope community here, great conversation, and I'm ready to dive into it. All right. Let me give a shout out to the chat. I already see a few of the members already in there. Yo, Donovan was good. Maddox was good. Was good. Breaking news: Pistons versus Thunder, February 25th is on ESPN. Oh, I'm here for it. William Hers guy, one of the members in the chat. What up, though? Salute, brother. Salute. Big at yeah, one of my day ones. Salute, salute. It's great to see you in the chat. William Hers guy, as always, always with great insight, conversation. Appreciate seeing you in the chat as well. Oh yeah, Toronto gonna be a dog fight, but watch for Tolu to get some. Bro, see William. Hey, look, real talk, William. I'm gonna need you to stay out my playbook. All right, stay out of my notes. Stay out of my notes. He's saying everything I was gonna talk about, bro. All right, save that for the chat. We got one of the best chats out here. Frank Nitty, it's good to see you. YY, it's good to see you as well. We need the breakdown of the fight. Like my nose stew for Thunder, Spurs, Cavs, Knicks. Game's gonna miss JD for tonight in New York. You know what? I'm all for it. If I'm honest, I'm all for it. Jalen Duren with knee soreness. Now he gets 2 more games off, like not just days off, 2 more games off. Let him coast into the All-Star break, rested, feeling good, right? Isaiah Stewart, I don't know if you noticed, but man, I've been seeing Isaiah Stewart hit the deck a whole lot. He's been getting up slower and slower. He's got all the heating pads on and all the wraps. You know what? Get you a nice solid break because you know who we still got? You know who we still got? We still got B-Ball Paul. We still got Tolu Smith. And if I'm honest with you, I wouldn't mind Tolu Smith starting. I love B-Ball Paul. I ain't taking nothing away from him at all. But I also like his energy off the bench. And I think that Tolu might give us a little bit more of a little pick and roll action, strong screen setter, just get in there and just rebound the hell out of the ball. And then you have B-Ball Paul still getting the bulk of the minutes, probably like 26 to 28 minutes this game at least, right? But Tolu, so happy he's back. So happy he's back. And more than likely that calf strain was more like also, he wasn't going to see the court, basically. But I'm pretty sure after the last game, he was like, oh, hell no. I could have played. He would have got run last game. Okay, let me just start off with this. Charlotte, that game was a I'm here game. That game was indicative of the first time your little brother fights back and is like swinging, going all out, right? That's that moment of elevation that, yo, I'm here and you're going to have to see me. You ain't going to just sun me and little bro me no more. You're not just beating me up every single time. It ain't sweet no more. You're going to have to see me. That's what that game was for Charlotte. It didn't matter about if they won it or lost. It was a show of force that there was going to be resistance. Now, of course, now they're without Musa Diabate and Miles Bridges, but I think they can They can make it work. Grant Williams, he's one of those veteran guys you hate to play against. He's like a Marcus Smart, just dirty, just but you love it when he's on your team though. And so he should fill in nicely. You got Ryan Kalkbrenner. He's one of the best rookies out there. All I can say is Charlotte's going to be just fine. I'm actually interested to see how they do tonight. I'm not sure who they play. I'll probably take a look at it, but I'm interested to see how they do tonight coming off of that. But if I really dive into this game, I just want to say straight up, this heliocentric offense has to stop with Detroit. Oh, appreciate that, Maddox. Oh, they got the Hawks. Oh, that should be a good one. That should be a great matchup. Because the Hawks, I don't know if Jonathan Kuminga's back, but with CJ McCollum, they got some more scoring punch. Onyeka Kongwu, they've got some size. They've got some guys. It's going to be interesting. All right. Our heliocentric offense has to stop. It has to. It just has to. This Cade Cunningham bringing the ball up. And look, let me just start off. Look, y'all, I always have to give this caveat because folks will be like, oh, you hating on Cade. I'm not hating on Cade, y'all. I'm being straight up with you. I'm being 100% honest with you. He's an incredible talent. I have never seen someone so talented with so much room to grow. With so much room to grow. Amazing touch on his jump shot. Still doesn't get enough of his legs into his three-point shot, which is why a lot of times he's missing those threes. Great touch. Needs some more arch. Needs more legs. What happens if he just works on that over the summer and he gets his three-point shooting up to 36, 37%? Top 2-3 MVP. Right? Just that small little tweak. What happens when he starts going straight to his spots and starts getting off the ball more? Just he doesn't even mess around anymore. I'm not trying to beat everybody off the dribble. If it's not a big man, I'm not even going to waste my time and energy. I'm just going to go right to my spot at the elbow and post you up. Give you a little SGA shoulder, step back, shoot over the top, or jump hook, footwork, right? Once he gets into that mode, right, starts giving you that Brandon Roy just surgical with his scoring, right? What happens when he becomes a more responsible defender? What happens when he starts learning how to get his guys intentionally involved? There's a difference between being able to make the plays versus I'm going to orchestrate the game to make sure that certain guys are going to get off at certain times, right? There's certain levels that Cade still has some major opportunities to take jumps in, and yet he's already a top 5 MVP candidate in the NBA. So that is the Cade Cunningham that I'm looking at. So when I'm talking about the heliocentric offense has to stop, I'm talking about a reality of what I'm observing is that this was like some personal beef between him and LaMelo. I don't know if those two had a bet on the side and they put the Lambo keys up. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was house keys. I don't know what they put up, but those two were going at each other trying to make a point. And if I'm honest with you, it didn't necessarily help either of their teams. They just were going for broke from beginning to end. And the sad part about it was a lot of people got lost in the sauce. LaMelo should have been deferring to Brandon Miller more. Probably Con Knuppel more. Working those mismatches. Cade Cunningham could have got off the ball, kept Asar Thompson involved in the game, made sure Jalen Duren got going earlier, though I was impressed how he came in later. I want to say the second quarter, third quarter, before the whole fight, where he was just like, okay, I'm the all-star here. I'm about to assert myself. And that's when Musa Diabate took it personal and was like, all right, you're not just going to sun me the whole time. But that's what Duren was doing. He just started imposing as well. And that was a beautiful thing to watch. All this to say is that when you're a great player, you have to be aware or observant of everyone around you so you can be able to say, you know what? Let me make sure my team, my squad is rolling with me. And when I say rolling with me, not just playing hard, but also that everyone else is also getting off. Like if you're Cade Cunningham and you're bringing the ball up the court and you see a small on Tobias Harris, it's automatic. I'm going to dribble to your side. I'm going to tell the other guy to clear out, Karis LeVert, go to the corner. And then I'm going to tell Tobias, get on the block, and I'm going to dump it down, right? I'm going to keep it simple. That's what the veterans do. That's what the guys who understand the game is simple. We make it more complicated by trying to do all the extra stuff. It's simple. Get a bucket. The easiest way so we can save our energy for defense so we can get more stops, so we can get back on offense and get more buckets. The reality is the Detroit Pistons are a team that is going to have to start recognizing that they are preparing for a playoff series that they have not experienced yet. They are preparing for teams who are already preparing for them back in November, December. These teams have been scouting the hell out of the Detroit Pistons in a way that they have not in the Cade Cunningham era ever been scouted. Teams know, oh, we want Cade Cunningham to bring the ball up every single time so we can just wear him out. Because if we wear him out, what does that mean? His legs aren't there, so his three ball is going to be gone. And he's going to be more prone to turn it over. And once he gets tired and starts taking things personal, he'll start wanting to go one-on-one. And then everyone else will be out the game. They won't be in a rhythm. That's just what the scouting report is. So you have to start trying to beat the scouting report. That's how you get better. Okay, you're telling me that, okay, I'm going to get tired. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to let someone else bring it up so I can conserve energy. Or I'm not going to get turned 4 to 5 times on the way up the court. I'm going to make one move, get up the court, pass it, start our offense. I'm going to show that this cannot work against me. That's what these games are really about. They are not about trying to get the win. We know we're good enough to get the wins. Now, I will say tonight is going to be interesting because we still don't have Ron Holland. And if you notice, we missed the hell out of Ron Holland. We missed him. We missed him when Asar Thompson came out. Where was that big dominant wing who could defend at the point of attack or on the perimeter, that could create turnovers, that could create that havoc and get us out in transition? And I keep pointing to this, I keep alluding to this, that JB Bickerstaff is going to have to get to a point where he just says, Asar Thompson has got to play 30 minutes a game, 30 to 35 minutes a game. He creates offense through his defensive disruption. The deflections, the steals, the blocks, the rebounds, getting out in transition, running the court. That's how he generates offense. We can't get into those late fourth quarters and just say, all right, we're going to put shooters out there and let Cade go one-on-one. That is not effective. Sometimes we survive it, but many times it's because our defense is getting stops. Not because Cade is shooting 4-4 down the stretch in the last 2 minutes. Usually it's 1 for 4, and there's some free throws mixed in and a timely shot with some great defense. And then ironically, at some point, JB just goes, I got to put Asar back in. And they put him back in, and all of a sudden, Asar gets a steal, deflection, block, rebound, right? He does what he does, right? Speaking of does what he does, y'all know the drill. I got 41 people in chat, only 11 likes. Do me the favor to smash that like button. Come on now. Hit subscribe and the bell for notifications. It's a small thing for you, but a big thing for the channel, okay? Smash the little like button, okay? And let's keep it pushing. When I watched that game against Charlotte, one, they exposed a couple of things. That we struggle to defend the three-point line. 100%, we struggle to defend the three-point line. When I say we, Duncan Robinson, Karis LeVert, Cade Cunningham, Isaiah Stewart, Jalen Duren. Those guys are not good at anticipating the movement of the ball so that they can get a bead on it, meaning that they can anticipate that pass going so that they're closing out in enough time to prevent the shooter from even believing he has a chance at it. And then also still being able to contain if he tries to drive. Most of the time, we're trailing so far behind the play that there's no chance we're even getting to that 3-point shot. And they're getting it up. And when Charlotte made a few in a row, they went up by double digits. And we had to fight our way back. Now, credit to us, we were able to fight our way back. And as always, people get back down to their averages and they're not going to shoot 5 of 5, 6 of 6 for the whole game, right? If they do, tip your cap to them. All right, great job. That's not a regular reality. But it's to say that we have certain lineups that are not good at defending that 3-point line, which I think is also part of the reason why we had to trade away Ivy. Because we were kind of force feeding him into the rotation, trying to get him to pop, trying to get his bubble to pop. Like, yo, we need this to work. Come on. And he's just not good at anticipating defensive rotations, seeing his man in the ball, moving his feet, hard closeouts. Like that's not him. But Dennis Jenkins, that is him. Javonte Green, that is him. And I think with Paul Reed, I think we're going to do a much better job of containing. Now, Toronto, they've got Trace Jackson Davis. They've got Colin Murray Boyles. They've got Mamas Skulovitsky, something like that, right? From the Spurs, right? All these guys are kind of hybrid centers. Very mobile, skilled, high energy bigs. So we actually match up pretty well with Paul Reed. But this team, the Toronto Raptors, are a really damn good team. They're a damn good team. Between Emmanuel Quickley, RJ Barrett, Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes. And I'm going to talk about Scotty Barnes and the Cade Cunningham matchup in a little bit. And then fill it in Colin Murray Boyles, Jamal Shedd off the bench, Jacoby Walter off the bench. You've got a team that's going to be ready to go. That is going to be ready to go. And when I say ready to go, they're going to be locked in. They're going to know the scheme. And they've got the personnel. They've got the personnel to shoot, score, move without the ball, get to the rim. And they're smart enough not to beat themselves. They're a very veteran team. Really good IQ. And we don't have Ron Holland to be that disruptor. It's going to be an interesting night. I'm going to say interesting. I think it's going to be a close one. Again, like they're going to be right there at the end. And Brandon Ingram is a great shot maker, though I'm really interested to see Asar Thompson versus Brandon Ingram. That's going to be a great matchup. Asar at 6'7", 6'8", 7-foot wingspan. Brandon Ingram 6'9", 7'3" wingspan. Kind of Kevin Durant-ish, but more mid-range, less of a shooter. That'll be a great matchup. But then we still also have the Scotty Barnes, Cade Cunningham matchup. And Scotty Barnes, you have to remember, Scotty Barnes and Cade Cunningham went to high school together. They played at Montverde Academy together. And when you played high school ball with somebody, you're not enamored by them. You've seen all their flaws and all their holes in their game. Cade Cunningham is going to have to play smart, extremely smart. Because Scotty Barnes, I guarantee you, he's giving everyone the playbook. Like, look, this is what you do with Cade. This is what you got to do. Stay down here. Focus on this. Body him up here. Don't worry, I'm going to come for the help here if I'm not on him. If I am, I got him. Just make sure that you cover the rebounds. Like they're talking in-house on a level that I don't think any other team has the ability to do when it comes to understanding how to play Cade. Now, I also believe that Cade Cunningham is going to rise to the occasion too. Because who doesn't love busting the ass of your old high school teammate? The one who actually won Rookie of the Year over you, right? Let me get to some of these comments real quick. I'm sorry. I was going for a little bit there. I was going for a little bit. Let me see. Beef Stew tweaked his uh, knee real good against the Hornets. He was limping on the court. Yeah. Well, he's gonna have 7 games out to heal it up. William Herzgott. I wonder if Isaac Jones or Bobby play to match the double big minutes we are running. Tobias, with his age, is getting limited with his minutes, especially because he is needed to close games. I doubt Bobby Clement plays. Kevin Herter will play before Bobby Clement. Um, See, next game I got at LCA is versus the Cavs. Okay. What up? What up? Was good? Was good, Seth? Was good. Make it professional. Definitely need more arc on the threes. Okay, okay. You said Luca doesn't have a jump shot either. Is it just me? No, stop. Luca has a jump shot. It's just more about the quality of shots he gets. Shooting threes off the bounce is the hardest 3-point shot that you can take in the NBA. Says at least Beef Stew will be back against the Lakers at LCA, right? Potentially. Make it professional. The Hornets actually play better without LaMelo not in the game, but their ceiling isn't as high. His ability to get downhill, he has that Steve Nash type of ability where his pass is such a threat that it opens up the floor and he can get to the rim. But LaMelo just isn't, he doesn't play physical enough. He just doesn't play physical. Cade does, and that's why he got the better of the matchup. Um, We see, let Dennis bring it up more often. No need for C2 to waste energy doing that. That's very true. What do you think Detroit's superpower will be come playoff time to succeed? I mean, it's always our defense. It will always be our defense. That is our calling card. That is our identity. That is our foundation. That's why we got here. That's why we will continue to move forward. It's our defense. What the what is the term I'm looking for? What the wild card will be for the Detroit Pistons is how mature can we play? How much can we stick with the game plan? Trust our offensive system, stay within our roles, not pick up bad fouls, not get pulled into confrontations. Right? We have got to play sound basketball. If we do that with great defense, we'll get through the first round just fine. Second round, likely. Third round, it's always up in the air. Let me see. Big Aggie was good. Shouldn't Cade and the coaches self count themselves? You know, if I understand what you're saying, yes, they should be. The coaches need to be working with Cade straight up to say, look, man, we need you. If you're going to be heliocentric, if you're going to be looking to get yours, get off the ball because other guys have to touch it. Other guys have to touch it. You can't go multiple possessions in a row and you're the only one that touches the ball. It's not, even if you're scoring, it's one of those things where it's like, all right, the moment you miss a couple, the whole team is now cold because nobody else has been touching the ball. Cade Cunningham has to let other guys. If Asar gets the rebound, if Dennis gets the rebound, if Levert gets if Kevin Herter gets the rebound, if somebody else who can initiate offense gets the rebound, Cade needs to just get the hell out of there. Get up court, get to his spot, and look for the ball. That's what Cade needs to be doing because it's not about if he can do it, and I think that is the biggest jump for a lot of young players. Is it's not about what you can do, it's what you can do that maximizes the team's benefit to win. The key term is maximizes, maximizes, maximize. Yeah, we're good. Cade shoots 20 something shots. He'll still get to 30 some points and we'll probably win. But is that the Detroit Pistons at our best? Yeah, 24K mines. Asar does bring the ball up at times, but Asar needs to be bringing it up, I would say, the dominant majority of the time that he's on the court. If he's on the court for 24 minutes, 21 minutes of that, he needs to be initiating offense. Because one, he does an amazing job seeing over the defense. Most guys lay off of him too much because they're worried about his speed and getting downhill. Oh, and did y'all see the pull-up jumper? Did y'all see the pull-up jumper from Asar? I told y'all. If he gets that Russell Westbrook pull-up jumper, it's a wrap, bro. I want to see that every game. I keep saying that. I'm two things I truly wish with Asar Thompson. One, every game, every pregame, he has 1 hour while he's on the trainer table with an iPad and headphones, and he just watches highlights, offensive highlights of himself in all the ways that he scores. And he just sees it over and over and over and over again. And then the second thing is that he plays ones, one-on-one, every single day. He needs to get used to trying to create his own shot more so that it becomes fluid, it becomes natural. He gets stronger with the ball because that's one of the big things. He's a little bit too soft with the ball. Guys can hit his hand and the ball will come out. They'll hit his wrist and the ball comes out. And so because he looks soft with the ball, the refs don't give him the benefit of the doubt when really many of the times it could literally be that he got fouled. But because he's dropping the ball all the time, the refs just look at him as you don't have secure hands. And technically, hand is kind of part of the ball. So I'm going to give the defender the benefit of the doubt. He's got to get stronger. But if Asar Thompson continues to work on his shot creation, I think you're going to see a more and more dangerous player. Eventually, he's going to grow to where that dangerous offensive ability also translates in the fourth quarter, which is really where we're trying to grow everybody to. Now, in this game, oh, Big Aggie, he asked, what's our tendencies? Well, I talked about him a little bit, but I would say with Jalen Duren out and Stu out, it will be interesting how we run offense to get everyone else involved. Yeah, make professional. Asar Thompson hit a couple of middies. He did. Look, it looked real good too. One of the tendencies I want to see is will we move the ball on offense? Will Cade trust the offense? This is something I've talked about from the beginning of this year, something I talked about even last year. When we move the ball, our offense is great. It's excellent. It's everything we need it to be. When we stop moving the ball and guys get stagnant, it's ugly, bro. It's ugly. Even if Cade is scoring, Cade is getting fouled, he's getting hacked, he's getting worn down. He's getting worn down. And I would rather, I'm looking for more team offensive wins. I would love to see at least 4 to 5 players in double-digit scoring every game. I want to see Asar at 10-plus points. I want to see Duren at 18 to 24 points. I want to see Stu at 12. I want to see Tobias Harris at 12 to 14, 16 points. I want to see Cade, of course, at 25 to 35 points. I want to see it spread out because everyone's eating. Not just Cade having a big game and then maybe Duren's in double digits, maybe Tobias. And of course, I forget about D-Rob, right? Like we have guys, but we don't run our offense in a way that maximizes all the offensive talent. And that's probably one of the biggest things I'm looking for. Now, Dennis Jenkins is also someone who more and more I'm recognizing like, yo, he can get his, especially when he's able to get downhill in transition or even just bringing the ball up the court. He's got that great first step. He can get downhill, finish at the rim. He's explosive. He's physical. He finishes through contact. Still needs to iron out some of that mid-range, but it's to say that he's someone else who should be at 8 to 12 points a game. And that's what I'm looking for. The offense should be spread out. And Cade Cunningham has to do a better job of being responsible for that. Or like I've been saying, just accept him for what he is. He's a scorer who's also a great facilitator. But he's not a floor general. He's not someone who's going to think and strategize the game in advance and orchestrate it and manipulate it like a Chris Paul, LeBron James. And that's okay. Not everybody needs to be Jason Kidd and Steve Nash. Not everybody needs to be John Stockton. All right. That's okay. That's okay. But what that does mean is that somebody on the court has to be aware of that, or the coaches have to be. And they got to start calling out plays for guys, or tell Cade, get off the ball, or make sure he has another primary ball handler, either Asar or Dennis Jenkins on the court at all times with him. Preferably both of them. Why? Because Dennis Jenkins is great at covering the perimeter. He's not just good at it, he's great at it. He is great at containing on the perimeter, moving his feet, closing out, retreating, getting back, weak side, helping off the ball. He's just excellent. Makes the rotations, anticipates well. He needs more playing time. I would love to actually see him come in the game earlier. And in this game, it's going to be interesting to see what the rotation looks like because without Stu, without Ron, who are our primary guys off the bench, now it's Karras, now it's Dennis. Definitely Javante. Kevin Herter, I think, gets a lot of minutes in this game. And then probably Tolu Smith. That'll be our 10-man rotation. More than likely, Paul Reed starts, even though I wanted to see Tolu as a start, but I think it'll be B-ball Paul. It'll be B-ball Paul. And hopefully we see Tolu with a little bit better touch. Sometimes he be missing bunnies, but he does a hell of a job on the boards. And I think he's going to have his hands full with Trace Jackson Davis, who's going to move around, play with a high motor, and is going to look to challenge on the boards as well. And that really is going to be a point of emphasis for us. We have to rebound. Asar Thompson, we need 8 to 10 rebounds. Tobias Harris, 8 to 10 rebounds. Cade Cunningham, 8 to 10 rebounds. B-ball Paul, Tolu Smith. Like, we're going to have to fight on these boards. Because Colin Murray Boyles, Trace Jackson Davis, Mamushkavili, Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes, RJ Barrett, these guys are going to board. And I guarantee you they're going to have a scheme that's going to say, look, if we can out-rebound them, we know we have the defense. We know we have the offense. We're not going to beat ourselves. And without Duren, we don't necessarily have a guy in the middle who can exploit their lack of size on the interior. So now it becomes about execution. And this is why I said we have to start focusing on how do we maximize our roster on each and every offensive possession. Who's out there? Okay, who has the mismatch? That's really what you're supposed to be thinking about as a floor general orchestrator of the offense. You're supposed to be bringing the ball up to half court. You should already have your head up where you see who's out there. You see where the mismatch is. You already have in mind what play you want to call. And then you're calling it as you're crossing half court and initiating that entry pass after one dribble, 2 at the most, past half court. That's what's traditionally supposed to happen. Has it happened with us? No. When Cade is running the point. Like I said, it's not to harp on him, just to also understand he's the straw that stirs the drink. He's the guy. So he's going to get more attention. I'm going to pay more attention to him. Still love him as a player, great talent. Rooting for him, rooting for the team. But I'm also going to be real with you. You know what I mean? Like, it's not your man, 100 grand, Ross at the Rock Never Stops for nothing. I'm going to keep it a band with you. I'm not going to fluff it. I'm not just going to say what, folks might want to say just to be in some good graces. I'm just being honest. Just trying to be honest, like Macy Gray. You know what I mean? Now, the Toronto Raptors are a damn good team, bro. Are a damn good team. With Ron Holland out, Asar Thompson, you cannot get into foul trouble. And I feel like I say this all the time. It should just be a mantra. Asar, Cade, Duren, stay the hell out of foul trouble. Just stop. Your 3 most important players. You cannot be in foul trouble. It can happen once here and there. It cannot happen all the time. It cannot be happening consistently. It cannot be happening so often than not that we just get accustomed to it. We're just like, yeah, that's what's going to happen. That's what's gonna happen. He's just gonna, yep. That's that's what he does. He gets into foul trouble. We have got to start changing the narrative. Play great defense and stay out of foul trouble. Now, what do I think is gonna happen? I'm curious. What do y'all think is gonna happen tonight against the Toronto Raptors? Let me know in the chat. As you do, make sure you smash the like button for me. I got 22 likes, 45 people in the chat. Right? Let's improve that ratio. We got over 2-1. All right. Smash the like button for me. Hit subscribe and the bell for notifications. Definitely hit that join button to become a member in 2026. It's a dope channel, dope experience, dope community, great conversation. Become a member. But also start with smashing that like button. Remember, it's a small thing for you, but a big thing for the channel. All right. What do y'all think is going to happen tonight? We got the Toronto Raptors. You haven't watched the Raptors yet? Okay. See what else? See, Trajan and JB said on the show in Detroit, no more 3-point shooting for Assar this year's season. Oh, really? I mean, it's not like he was really taking that shot anyways. But I definitely want to see the mid-range. A mega professional says, I'd like to see Herter finally start knocking down some threes and spreading the floor as we want him to. You know what? I'm going to be honest. He wasn't necessarily brought in to be a floor spacer. We know he has that in his game. But we also know he's been struggling this year. He was brought in for all the glue things he does, the rebounding, the defense, right? The defense, the making the extra pass, boxing out, right? Moving well without the ball, maintaining spacing, right? Like he does so many other things well. That's really why he's here, because he's a really good basketball player. He just knows the game. Some guys are only good when they have the ball in their hands and they're scoring and shooting. If you can be a great player without the ball in your hands, that says something. Kevin Herter is a really good player without the ball in his hands. And he's just as good with the ball in his hands because he does a great job playmaking, getting to his spots. He knows how to attack gaps, penetrate, kick, collapse the defense, find the open guy, selfless, makes the extra pass. Like he just does a lot of really good things that our offense needs. We need a guy who can do those things. That's what we need. Sorry all about the sirens. I'm back in Oakland, so this is just what Oakland is downtown. All right. What y'all think about the game tonight? This is the tailgate discussion. What y'all think? We got Scotty Barnes versus Cade Cunningham. Who comes out on top? Who do you think has the better game, Cade or Scotty? And this is not just scoring. This is the rebounding, turnovers, defensive impact, offensive impact, assists, steals, blocks, free throws, everything. Efficiency. Who do you think has the better game? Let me know in the chat. Mega Professionals also says Dennis can stay in front of opponents at an elite level. He surely can. He surely can. And that's where guys have to, if I'm honest, so, all right, me and my boy Jay, right? Me and my boy Jay. Me and Jay, we grew up together, like from the crib. Jay is a kindred spirit to me because he loves defense, just like me. And when I say loves defense, he loves defense. There's nothing he loves more than locking you the freak up 94 feet and ripping you. He's like Avery Bradley, if I'm honest. He's only about 5'9", 5'10", but he's like an Avery Bradley type of defender. He's just a dog, bro. And him and I used to love playing on the same team with him because we would get folks. We would put folks in a bind, bro. We would put folks in a bind because we would be out there straight up. If I'm honest with you, straight up, 100%. We would tag team folks. We would just be like, you got him, send him left. I know Jay's going to move his feet. I know he's going to cut off that right. I know he's going to force his man to go left. And I'm going to sit on that left. One pass away. I can't wait. And the moment that ball drops down out of his hands to go down and Jay's bodying him up, I'm already down stealing the ball. Right? Guys have to start learning how to play off of each other. If we know that Asar and Dennis can contain just about anybody and force them into over dribbling, that's where the help defense has to start anticipating. That's where guys have to start stepping in and saying, hey, you know what? We got to use this to our advantage. We need to exploit this. We need to start figuring out how do we begin to utilize this guy, Ron Holland, Isaiah Stewart, Asar Thompson, Dennis Jenkins, Javonte Green, right? Javonte is probably one of the few dudes who really does anticipate. He'll sit back and be like, oh, Dennis is on him? Yeah, he's going to pass that up real soon. Real soon. So I'm going to sit back right here so he thinks he has an outlet and boom, steal. He does that all day. And I'm proud of it. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to anticipate knowing who you have out there on the court with you. Now, if you got Karis LeVert, Cade Cunningham, and let's say Duncan Robinson, I'm not doing a lot of anticipation outside of I'm going to have to help those dudes a lot. But when you got better defenders, you can start gambling. You can start anticipating. You can start sitting back, spying, right? Playing that safety role and just, okay, here it is. To get those easy runouts in transition. Because those easy runouts is what many times leads to us getting our offensive flow going. Our offensive flow does not come from even the Duren Cade pick and rolls or the Duncan Robinson threes. Our offensive flow comes from getting those transition layups, getting those stops, getting those rebounds, getting the deflections and steals for the easy layups. Mega Professional says, word on the street, Scotty Barnes is like mutant strong. You know what? Scotty Barnes, he reminds me a lot of Scottie Pippen. Back when, so I used to actually cover the Toronto Raptors a few years ago before I got onto the Pistons. And I was a big Scotty Barnes fan. I never thought that he was a number one scoring option, but he's more than a great co-captain. Like he's really Scottie Pippen out there. He's really the guy that if you got another guy who can be that primary scorer, Scotty Barnes is great to play alongside of him. He gives you the leadership, he gives you the facilitation, he gives you the high IQ, the team first mentality. He gives you the rebounding, the defense, the all the little things that many times great scorers don't necessarily want to do or have the energy for. Scotty Barnes is high level. And that's who we got tonight. But not just Scotty Barnes, you also have Cade Cunningham. I'm sorry, we also have Brandon Ingram. Meaning we got to face Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram, who was looked over for an all-star bid. The Toronto Raptors, top 4 seed in the East. Scotty Barnes got in. Brandon Ingram didn't. I'm pretty sure Brandon Ingram is like looking at Jalen Duren like, Jalen Duren just got here. It's his first good season. He gets into the all-star game, and I'm killing, and I don't get into the all-star game. He's probably hot. And I would be too. I would be like, for real, that's what we doing? Oh, okay. And he's going to come out looking to bust our ass. I mean, not just because we're the number one seeded team in the East, second best record in the league, right? Everything to prove, getting ready for the playoffs. Let's see if this, if our schemes work, how do we see different lineups in order to be able to, prepare for what can work in the playoffs? Not just that, but there's also the motivation of, damn it, I should have been an all-star. Keep in mind, a lot of these dudes, they got bonuses if they make the all-star game. And I mean like millions of dollars. So we've got to keep in mind, like, this is not, yes, it's a sport, it's competitive, it's also business, bro. It's also business. Imagine you playing pickup and somebody's like, all right, If you win, you stay on. You know the rules. But if you get 6 points, you'll get $20. Bro, you're going to be shooting every single time. You're going to be like, give me the ball. Give me the rock. Every single time. Because there's that other incentive. It's now a business decision. I need that $20 to go get some groceries, put some gas in my car. All right. It's cold as hell on the East Coast. I got a electric bill. You know what I mean? Like that's the situation. So I fully expect Brandon Ingram to come out guns blazing. Don't don't sleep on RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett, I'm gonna be honest, this team is so well constructed. Shout out to Masai Ujiri. I think that they gave up on him way too fast after everything he did. His vision was exactly what it was supposed to be. We see it all coming to fruition. Um, hopefully, I think Masai will end up being the next GM of the Los Angeles Lakers because he's one of the best GMs, team presidents out there. Also, shout out to him and what he's doing with NBA Africa. There's some great talents coming over from the continent and the diaspora over there. You got guys like Mo Gay in Atlanta. You got what's his name for the New York Knicks, who we just faced. Pull it up real quick because I like to give a shout out to NBA Africa. You feel me? NBA Africa. I got love for y'all because some of the guys that we wish we had are right there. Yeah, you got Mo Gay in Atlanta. New York, what's his name? Oh, Muhammad Diarra, bro, killing. Muhammad Diarra, killing. 6'9", 7 foot something wingspan, knocking down threes. It's like, bro, couldn't we all use one of them? Right? Couldn't we all use one? Shoot, and then you got, yeah, I can go on and on. There is a prototype coming out of the continent of long, athletic, skilled wings that just fly under the radar. And all of a sudden you get one and you're just like, hell yeah. Remember, that's what Pascal Siakam was, remember? Way back when. He was the prototype. He was the prototype. And Messiah they trust. I'm just saying. It's going to be a good game. And then Emmanuel Quickly. He's going to shoot a lot of threes. Between RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly, it's going to go up. We've got to defend that 3-point line. I'm hoping Duncan Robinson gets off offensively because they're going to go at him. There's not going to be anywhere for Duncan Robinson to hide. Between Quickly, Barrett, Scotty, B.I., there's nowhere to hide. There's nowhere to hide. You're going to have to defend. And he just doesn't have that ability to really lock down. So Cade, Asar, got to stay out of foul trouble. Expect a lot of minutes for Kevin Huerter. It should be a good one. But it's about 4:30. The game should be starting momentarily. This was the tailgate. I hope you all enjoyed it. It's good to see y'all. It's good to be back. Shout out to everyone in the chat. I'm going to get at y'all next. I always like to leave y'all with something. Let me see. There was something I wanted to leave y'all with. Definitely smash the like button, hit subscribe and the bell for notifications. But also, what was I thinking of earlier today? There's a superpower in knowing yourself. There is a superpower in knowing yourself. When you know you and you accept you, you recognize how much potential you have to accomplish everything you want without having to be perfect in every other area. I know we talk about this all the time. No one has ever had to be perfect to be great, but let's internalize that a little bit. It's not about being perfect. It's not about being right. It's not about not being wrong. It's about understanding how to orchestrate your life around who you are so you can maximize what you do best and have a plan for the things that you struggle at. So embrace who you are. Get to know you. Listen to people. Be open. Ask questions. If it feels like a criticism, if you trust this person, if it's somebody who generally looks out for you, you should be listening, not being defensive. Don't let nobody yell at you and call you names, but real talk, listen. Because if you come into understanding of yourself, if you know yourself, that will be 10 times more empowering than trying to be right all the time or perfect. Because nobody is. Nobody is. And no one will be. And no one needs to be. With that, I'm going to get at y'all later. Enjoy the game. And I'm out.